First Love's Whisper. The sun streamed through the classroom windows, casting a warm glow over the rows of desks. Amelia sat by the window, her eyes fixed on the notebook in front of her, but her mind was miles away. She could feel the weight of someone's gaze and, glancing up, met the soft brown eyes of Lucas, the boy who sat 2 rows over. Their eyes locked for a moment too long, and she quickly looked away, her cheeks flushing. Lucas had been in her class since the beginning of the school year, but it wasn't until a few weeks ago that she noticed how often their paths seemed to cross. Whether it was in the hallway between classes or at the local coffee shop after school, there he was, always with that quiet smile that made her heart race. One afternoon, as the final bell rang, Amelia gathered her books and headed toward the door. She felt a light tap on her shoulder and turned to find Lucas standing there, his hand awkwardly scratching the back of his neck. "Hey Amelia," he said, his voice soft yet steady. "I was wondering, do you want to maybe hang out sometime? I mean, if you're not busy or anything." Her heart skipped a beat. "Yeah, sure," she replied, trying to sound casual, though her voice wavered just a little. They started meeting at the park after school, sitting on the grass and talking about everything and nothing. Lucas told her about his love for old movies and how he dreamed of becoming a filmmaker one day. Amelia shared her passion for painting and the way colors made her feel alive. As the weeks passed, their friendship deepened into something more. They shared shy smiles, held hands when they thought no one was looking, and exchanged quick, nervous kisses when the moment felt right. It was a love that felt both new and timeless, filled with the kind of innocence and excitement that only first love can bring. But high school love is never simple. Rumors spread, friends whispered, and the pressure of growing up began to weigh on them. One evening, as they sat on the swings in the park, Lucas turned to Amelia with a serious look in his eyes. "Amelia," he began, his voice trembling slightly. "I know we're young, and I don't know what the future holds, but I just want you to know. I've never felt this way about anyone before." Amelia's heart swelled, and she leaned in, resting her head on his shoulder. "Me too," she whispered, her voice barely audible. They stayed like that for what felt like hours, the world around them fading into the background as they held onto the fleeting beauty of their first love. The sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, and Amelia felt a quiet sadness wash over her. She knew that moments like this were fragile, that life had a way of pulling people in different directions. As the days turned into weeks, their relationship faced the inevitable challenges of high school life. Friends questioned their time together, and the whispers of others began to seep into their private world. Amelia found herself torn between the excitement of young love and the fear of what others might think. Lucas, on the other hand, seemed determined to hold on to what they had, even as the pressures of growing up loomed large. One evening, as they walked home from school, Lucas stopped her under the old oak tree by the park entrance. "Amelia," he said, his voice soft but serious. "I know things have been complicated lately, but I don't want us to give up on this. On us." Amelia looked up at him, her heart heavy with the weight of his words. "I don't want to give up either," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "But it's hard, Lucas. Everything feels so uncertain." He reached for her hand, his fingers intertwining with hers. "I know," he said. "But isn't that what makes it worth it? The fact that we're figuring it out together." She nodded, a small smile tugging at the corners of her lips. "Yeah, I guess you're right." As they stood there under the fading light, Amelia realized that love, even young love, wasn't about having all the answers. It was about the moments they shared, the way Lucas's eyes lit up when he talked about his dreams, and the way her heart raced every time he looked at her. It was about holding on to the beauty of the present, even as the future remained uncertain. And so they continued to navigate the complexities of first love, hand in hand, their hearts full of hope and the quiet certainty that, no matter what happened, this moment would always be theirs. The weeks that followed were a whirlwind of emotions. Amelia and Lucas found solace in each other, stealing moments of happiness amidst the chaos of high school life. They shared secret smiles in the hallways, exchanged notes during class, and met under the old oak tree whenever they could. Each moment felt like a small victory, a testament to their determination to hold on to what they had. But as the school year drew to a close, the weight of the future began to press down on them. College applications, career aspirations, and the looming uncertainty of what lay ahead cast a shadow over their relationship. Lucas talked about his dreams of studying film in New York, while Amelia envisioned a future in art school, far from their small town. One evening, As they sat on the swings in the park, Lucas turned to Amelia with a look of quiet resolve. "Amelia," he began, his voice steady yet tinged with sadness. "I've been thinking a lot about us, about what happens after graduation." Amelia's heart sank. She knew this conversation was coming, but she had hoped to delay it just a little longer. "I know," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's just, I don't want us to lose this, what we have." Lucas reached for her hand, his touch warm and familiar. "I don't either," he said. "But I think we need to be honest with ourselves. About what's next." Tears welled up in Amelia's eyes, and she blinked them back, not wanting to let go of the moment just yet. "I know," she said, her voice trembling. "But it's so hard to imagine a future without you in it." Lucas pulled her close, his arms wrapping around her in a tight embrace. "I know," he whispered into her hair. "But maybe that's the point. Maybe we're meant to figure out who we are on our own, before we can figure out who we are together." They sat there for what felt like hours, the weight of their words hanging in the air. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the park, Amelia realized that Lucas was right. Their love was real, but it was also young, and they both had so much growing to do. As they walked home that night, hand in hand, Amelia felt a strange sense of peace. They didn't know what the future held, but they knew they would always have this moment, this love, this memory of a time when the world felt both vast and wonderfully small. And so, as the school year came to an end, they made a quiet promise to each other. They would part ways, not with sadness, but with the hope that one day, their paths might cross again. For now, they would hold on to the beauty of their first love, a love that had taught them more about themselves than they ever thought possible. As Amelia watched Lucas walk away that final day, she felt a mix of sadness and gratitude. Their love had been fleeting, but it had been real. And in the end, that was enough.